Hey guys, it's David here, and it's currently day 231. I hope you guys had a good day and are doing better than yesterday. But the time is currently, oops, the time is currently 6:11. Now, this morning I woke up mentally fatigued, physically fatigued, body aching, body pain. I just wanted to stay in bed and just sleep in. And I honestly was going to do that. But then I woke up in a split second. I was like, David, man, you can't. Because you know what you will feel like after that. Yeah, sure, you may sleep in, but would you actually feel better? Perhaps not. And the thing is, you're gonna delay your day, you're gonna lose some time, which you cannot buy back. So I was like, man, this is so annoying, but I had to get up. And that's the thing, guys. Sometimes we just have to fight through these pains. We have to fight through this discomfort if we want to break through to another length of mental resilience, mental strength. Because we cannot just constantly stay comfortable and think that we will be better than yesterday. So, that being said, I'm gonna get up now, shower up, and then have some food and kind of just recenter myself before I come back and plan with you guys what I want to speak today. But that being said, I'll see you guys in a bit.
So guys, the time is currently 7:25. Now normally I would be at the gym by now, and normally this is when the gym is perhaps the most packed because the second wave of people come in. But I did wake up later, so which made me leave later today. But I also was procrastinating this morning, and it just wasn't good. But that's okay because I'm gonna get my ass going now. But before I leave, I just want to say that today I want to talk about how we can get over our worries. And I think worry and doubt has is different, right? One is different to the other, and I'll explain what the difference is and exactly how we can get over this worry. Because worry also holds us down. Worry holds our potential. Worry stops us from acting too. So you cannot be doubtful. But if you have a lot of worry, then you're not going to act, then you're not going to pursue your goals also. But without that being said, I'm gonna get going now before I absolutely go there much later. And that was bad English, but who cares? I'll see you guys in a bit. So guys, it is that time, 12, no, 10:12, and I'm gonna be honest with you guys, today the workout was absolutely amazing. Not sure if I took a rest last night, which is why I was able to perform much better, or it was because I made the commitment to push harder in everything this week. That means working out. That means sitting in my office and doing the work. That means making better information for you guys. So that definitely has an effect. But either way, guys, I'm gonna talk about why or what's the difference between doubt and worry, because this is what I'm supposed to do before I get off topic again. But doubt is something that's very real, right? Although it is an emotion, doubt, unlike worry, doubt is your reality. Doubt is the image you gave yourself. It is the present. For example, before I always thought I was a quiet kid, an introvert, someone who's shy, someone who even won't be on YouTube, right? Someone who's overweight. See, these are all the identities I had predisposed on myself. So if someone asked me 5 years back, do you think you'll be doing YouTube? Do you think you'll lose the weight? I would say, hell no. This is who I am. I'm fat. I'm an introvert. How can I change that? See, you doubt yourself because you don't question it. And if someone question it, then you're not gonna question it either because you know this is who you are. This is your reality. But and this is also why it's so important that doubt is the first thing you overcome. Because doubt is overcoming the identity crisis, is knowing that you can change, is breaking through this reality that you had already predisposed on yourself. But unlike worry, worry is a total different thing. Worry, matter of fact, isn't something real, isn't something based on fact or logic. Worry is something that we think about in the future or the past. And worry comes after you overcome doubt. And you may say, well, I feel I am doubt and I am worried at the same time, and that's possible. But for someone to overcome themselves now, they have to first overcome the doubt that they are better, that they can do better. And the worry is, in essence, how can I do that? What do I have to do to get away from what I am already now? So, an example I would give you guys is someone who's a bit overweight and they want to lose weight. Now, their doubt will be that I cannot lose the weight, I am fat. And their worry will be, if I do lose the weight, what if I get loose skin, right? If I do lose the weight, what would I look like? And this worry essentially stops them from shifting from their old previous identity, their current state, because they are afraid of what might happen if they change, but they doubt themselves that they can change. So when somebody questions your identity, and when sometimes you question your own life, perhaps you are unsatisfied, you will go to the worry stage. You will transition from your doubt that maybe I can't change to maybe I can change. But sometimes this worry is just too much for you to bear, that it pulls you back into where you are right now. Because you don't want to go on the treadmill, you don't want to sign up to the gym, you don't want to sacrifice your Hungry Jacks or McDonald's and shit, because you want to stay in the present now and stay who you are, but yet the worry is holding you back because you know those are the steps you have to take, but you are scared of the consequence and what may happen. So, worry and doubt is definitely two different things, but yet they intertwine with each other. And definitely one cannot do without the other for someone to change. You have to push out for both of them. You have to know that you can change and go seek out the steps you can do to change. But certainly worry had held me back for a long time to actually get out of my old identity and transfer into a different view of myself, that maybe I am good enough, that maybe I can be public speaking, maybe I can lose the weight, maybe I can quit my addictions. You see, all this doubt that I had manifested all my life took some time to transfer into a new identity, into someone that I am proud to be. But certainly, this isn't an overnight success, and certainly, I couldn't have done this if I was worrying about the constant fear of the what if, that if, what if I can't do this, or what if I do this and fail, and what if, right? All this what if had held me back for a long time. So, worry definitely is the next roadblock for you to overcome if you want to see some success in your life, in a change, right? If you want to change, doubt is first and then worry. And sometimes the cycle does repeat. I'm not saying that you're not going to doubt again after you overcome doubt. And I'm not going to say you're going to not worry about life after you overcome worry. But it is a continuous cycle, and life will constantly challenge you with more doubt, with more worry, and you have to overcome each level as you slowly climb up the incrementals towards the life you want to be. Because certainly, the person you want to be, wherever that may be, the dreams, the aspirations you want to reach, ain't gonna be easy, guys. It ain't gonna be easy because it's not easy, not because it is necessarily hard to do, and it certainly isn't something we cannot manage, but it is because we had already built up this high tolerance, this years of conditioning of doubt, negative self-talk, worry, that we essentially has nerfed ourselves. We have put a glass ceiling that we cannot break free. So in order for us to break free from this cage we had set for ourselves, we have to slowly unwire the barber. We have to slowly unwire the wire. That is what I was trying to say. We have to slowly melt the cage away, and that takes time. And we will be faced with doubt and worry constantly in our journey to greatness, in our journey to success, and in our journey to fulfillment. But just know, worry is imminent. But there are definitely ways to overcome worry, and there are ways to diminish the effect worry may have on you. And for someone who had insomnia or sleeping problems for a long time, for someone who's stressed and anxiety all the time, to approach people, to approach the opposite gender, to just speak on YouTube, to just even be me and just be a normal human being, someone who has a chronic excess of worry, I will tell you guys exactly what steps you guys may take to just diminish this feeling of worry. Because worry definitely isn't a nice feeling. Worry holds you back from actually becoming the person you want to be. Remember, worry is the things you have to do or how to do it and what you have to do to become the person you said you were going to become. So in a bit, I'll share with you guys exactly the steps I had took so far to just diminish the effect on worry and it has on me. And certainly, I have seen great success because not only has my worry slowly diminished over time, but I also can feel it that I have more capabilities now to pursue my task right away rather than procrastinating, rather than worrying about the what ifs and whatnot. Because worry definitely is an emotion, but sometimes that can just be too much to bear for us. But it doesn't have to be that way, and I will be glad to share with you guys. But before I do that, I'm going to cook some chicken because yes, last night I did bitch out. I didn't do it, so now I have to pay the price. Cook some chicken, eat some food, do some work, and I'll be back with you guys with the exact strategies I had used to overcome worry. See you guys soon. So guys, the time is currently 3:13. So, exactly what are the steps that I took to overcome worry? Now, I was someone who used to worry a lot, worried about whether I get rejected, worried about whether what that person might say behind my back, worried about whether I could do the things I said I was going to do. I was worried about a lot of things, and that is pretty natural. Don't be scared if you are worrying about life because if you're trying to change, then you're going to worry because you're pretty much questioning yourself. You're questioning your whole existence. So the way I view worry isn't something bad. Think about as a precaution you're taking. You're being cautious about whether the thing you're doing is smart or not. However, it becomes a problem when you're overcautious. When you're overcautious and you start overthinking. When you overthink, you start making up scenarios and outcomes that are not going to happen. They're false realities that are holding you back. So, a lot of the times I was scared about what people may say behind my back or how rejection might defeat me or whether I was able to follow through with my goals. And definitely, this overthinking allowed me to not move forward with my change. And it was quite annoying because deep down inside, I got over the doubt. When you break free from doubt, guys, you pretty much understand that you are capable of achieving much more. But then the worry comes in and you're scared of doing it. So, whenever I have this sense of worry, whenever I start overthinking, instead of just sitting on my ass or instead of doing the thing I was still doing, for example, thinking and worrying about life, I start to write my thoughts down. I start to write my thoughts down because if you can't control your mind, then the next best thing to do is to grab all your thoughts and transition it onto a piece of paper. You have to grab that thought and transfer that energy onto something else. Otherwise, you're going to go in a downward spiral and just overthink more and more. But the thing is, when I write my thoughts down, I don't just write what I feel. I have a structure. I have a structure in place that may help me realize and see through all the bluff and see through that these outcomes, these what ifs, are actually over exaggeration of what the reality may actually happen. So, exactly how do I write down my thoughts? First of all, what I do is I have a heart to heart talk with myself. And I ask myself, David, what exactly is the worst case scenario that can happen? Let's say if I'm going to approach a lady, a beautiful lady, and I had a crush on her for a long time, what is the worst case scenario that could happen? She may say no. She may call me a freak. She may call me a widow. Hey, she may slap me and spill her drink on me. Let's just say that's the worst case scenario. Okay, I write that shit down. She may spill that drink on me. And the thing is, once you start writing down the worst case scenario and you're looking that on the paper, you realize actually that's not that bad. And actually, I expect this to happen. And anything else that happens other than this, let's say I got rejected, then that's a win because it wasn't the worst case scenario. It wasn't what I had imagined it to be. And even just doing this, guys, will help you with your worry. But obviously, how can we act? Because the worry is still there. So when I wrote down the worst case scenario, I faced that. I understand this is the worst thing that could happen. And I'll list down a bunch of things that may lead to this happening. What do I mean by that? I'll list down ways like, why would she throw a drink on me? Why would she reject me? Is it because I am not dressed properly? Is it because I approached her from the back? Is it because I was unkept that day? What are the possibilities and what are the reasons that she will reject me? She will reject such a handsome person like me. So once you list down the things that are in your control, perhaps you were unkept, perhaps you stink, perhaps you approach her from behind, which is something you don't do, or perhaps you just went dressed properly that day. So these things are something you can control. And by focusing on what you can control, you can then change the outcome, right? You can then change the outcome because you no longer feel helpless. And of course, anything else that she can control, anything else that she does, that is irrelevant because we have to stop focusing on what others can do to us. We have to stop focusing on something we cannot control. By focusing on the things we can control, we will realize that we have power to change. We have power to avoid the worst case scenario. And that is important to overcome worry. Is to actually stop overthinking first. Write down the worst case scenario. Write down exactly why that may happen and write down and start changing what you have control over. And by doing this, even if you don't approach that girl, even if you don't approach this new business idea, at least you had improved what was in your control. So when the opportunity comes next time around, you'll be better equipped. But the main thing is to not just do nothing about it and just continue to allow overthinking to stop you from reaching your potential. Because at the end of the day, we will be worried, we will have doubt. But doing something about it, just changing that little aspect, will improve your life over time. And you see, guys, I didn't become the person I was today just by these little changes today. I didn't just start making YouTube videos. I didn't just start being so focused at my work because I watched some YouTube video and I just decided to commit to my life. It was these little steps that seemed like it wasn't nudging myself that ended up making the big improvement over time. But if you just don't give up and you just practice these things day in and day out, even though you may have some bad days, but just practice these steps and having the eagerness to make a change about something you can control, that is enough to shift your life onto a new route. That is enough to change your fate alone. But that being said, guys, I'm going to have meal three. I have no idea what I want to have today, but I'll probably just have some chicken and carrots. But after that, I'm going to head back into the work block number two, probably do some reading, or probably just do some more coding. But either way, definitely going to be getting myself busy. But that being said, guys, I'll catch up with you guys in 3 hours or so. So, guys, it is that time of the day. Currently 7 o'clock. So, about to go downstairs and have my last meal. But before I do that, just a quick recap of what my day has went. So today I was procrastinating a lot, especially this morning. I didn't want to get up. I wanted to sleep. And quite honestly, when I came back, I also procrastinated. I had diarrhea somehow. Maybe I ate raw chicken. Perhaps I was rushing the cooking process, but felt really sick and I didn't really want to do any work, especially coding. And I was like, maybe I should just sit on the couch, eat a lot of food, and watch movie. And I was tempted, guys. I really was tempted to do that. So this just goes to show that even though with years and months of practice of self discipline and self mastery, you're still going to have those temptations. You're still going to have those urges. But what separates you from your previous self is the choice you make today. Are you going to make the same mistakes you made in the past? Are you going to allow your urge to define you? Are you going to let your urge to make the person you and shape you into someone that you're not so proud of? Or are you going to start taking some responsibilities and realizing that maybe this is my life and I can control it? So, although the urge was strong today, although the temptation was daunting me, I didn't go through with it because I realized I love myself and that I have myself. And if that's not the case, I have people here watching me, rooting for my success, family members, friends, you guys. So I couldn't let anyone down, and especially I couldn't let myself down because I hate to see myself fall because of my own destruction. So, quick story short, I didn't go through with it. I came upstairs, although I wasn't feeling like working, I sat through it. I sat through it, I code, I learned how to code. And the funny thing is that the thing we don't want to do, we actually end up enjoying it when we start getting into the flow state, when we actually start learning something. So, despite how I felt shitty today, how I procrastinated, I absolutely love the work I did. And I do believe everyone out there would love the work they do too. If it has purpose, if it has meaning to them, if whatever you're doing right now doesn't have any other reason than making money, then of course you're going to feel discouraged. Then of course you're not going to work through the hard times because they have no meaning towards you. You have to find your meaning, guys. I cannot stress this enough. When you have your meaning, everything becomes easier. Life becomes easier. And I'm not saying you have to be the next Bill Gates. I'm not saying you have to be the next millionaire. But just find something you believe you were born to do in this world and do better than anyone else. And most importantly, do better than yourself. But this is really all I gotta say for today. I hope you guys had learned something from this. But if not, like always, I'll be here for you guys tomorrow. But until then, good night.